Hey everyone, I just wanted to stop by real quick for this podcast starts and say you should like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at John D. Clouser, literally the same name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Guess what? I Googled myself, and the guy with the pierced tattoos and the eagle chest tattoo, or the nipple piercings and the chest tattoo, he's not on there anymore. They got rid of him. It's just me now. And then some guy who plays an oboe or a bassoon in, like, Maine.
Oh my fucking dude! He just, oh my god! Oh my god! Did I get that on video?
Welcome to the John Show with your host, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What is going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, John D. Clouser. Episode, 93? Okay, 93. We're getting there. How are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, it's a new week. It's the first week in December. Actually, when you're checking this out, it would technically be just like December 7th, I believe. That's when this episode will be released. So we're technically, I guess, in the second week, but the first full week of, I don't know. When was the first day of, this? Today's Friday. So next week will be the first full week of December. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe that we are here? It's already December. Don't you love hearing that every month? It's like, oh my God, can you believe it? It's already October. Oh my God, can you believe it? It's already July. Can you believe it? It's can you believe Thanksgiving's over already? Oh, like Black Friday. Can you? Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I don't think I said anything at all about Thanksgiving. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't eat turkey. I keep a pretty kosher diet for the most part. Like, the only time I ever go off of like not eating kosher, because I don't like pork. I don't eat like shellfish. I don't eat any of that kind of shit. And I guess I shouldn't call it shit, because it's not shit. It's just I just prefer not to eat that, because literally, guys, I could eat ground beef and rice every day. I can eat like meat and just rice, like steak and rice every day, and be completely fine. It's one of the great things that happen when you grow up in an orphanage, and all you had was basically like a soupy rice, like, substance to eat. And it was very stereotypical, I guess, or I don't know, because it's the easiest thing to cook, like rice, but like if it just make it soupy, because it's not ever like fully cooked. So it was just, that's all we had. That was it. So, like, it's easy for me to be able to, I'll just eat this, because, things could be way worse. Things have been worse. And that's how I kind of always look at it. Like, I have the weirdest connection with food. So, like, to me, it's like, I had pho the other day for the very first time. I ate it. I'm like, okay. And, like, how was it? Like, the people I was with, like, was it good? Did you like it? I'm like, it was all right. I mean, it's okay. I mean, like, I have never bitten into something and was like, this is so good. This is the best thing I've ever had. Oh my God, I can't believe you can even make this. What was that? Orange juice? Oh my God, I can't. Man, my grandma used to make this stuff, but would never think to make it with orange juice. Oh my God. I've never once been like that. I've been like, I'll take a bite of something, I'm like, that's cool, and I'll set it down. I don't like eating cupcakes, not because I don't think cupcakes are good, just simply because of the fact that they're so elaborate, they're so flamboyant. I'm just like, this is something that a clown threw up. I don't want any of this. Like, I never want to put this inside me. So I'm just mostly I can get grossed out by this, the weirdest of just simply that. It's just the fact that, like, a cupcake that's all elaborate and it's supposed to look nice. It's like, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I don't want any of that. It's like, I'm almost scared of it. You don't want to be like this. Like, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's because is it because you're fit and you work out? No, just simply because the fact in my mind, I'm just like, that's so fucking gross. Like, why would you want to have that much toppings of shit? Why would you want to mix like frosting and a cake and then you put like sprinkles on it with a cherry. It's like, good God, pick one thing and just stick to it. Like, just have icing on it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? They were doing that for thousands of years. I guarantee you, like, when the first, like, King Henry, like the 6th or like the 3rd was like, oh, icing, this is fabulous. This is great. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for providing this thing. There's no need to do anything else. There's no need to ever change. And the things like, granted, if ever there were more people like me, there would never be anything good in the world. We would never find out, like, things like peanut butter. Well, I guess that's simple too. I was gonna say peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You would never figure out like something like, I don't know, pork ribs. Like, I don't fuck if I know. I don't see. That's the thing. Like, I just look at food. I'm just like, a hamburger. Put lettuce, tomato, onions, pickles on it. I'm fine. That's good. That's all we have. That's elaborate for me. Put cheese on it. That's going crazy. That's going off the wall. Maybe some fries. Like, I don't even like chili fries. Gross, horrific. Just chili, but fries with ketchup on it, I'll eat that. All day. Like, poutine, like the Canadian thing, the Canadian dish. Oh, the idea of it. I saw it. The idea of it grossed me out. Then I saw it in person, and that even grossed me out more. And they're like, you want some? I'm like, I don't want any of that shit. Can I just get the fries? Is there any way I can just get fries, and I'll put some ketchup? And then you go to other places other than America, and you know what they do with their fucking ketchup? You know what? Let me tell you something. You know how much of fucking assholes they are? They think that they think Americans are assholes. You put fucking mayo in your goddamn ketchup. Who does that? Why would you do that? That's gross as fuck. Have you had American ketchup? It's significantly better. And another thing, you don't need to put your goddamn ketchup in the refrigerator. Have you ever gone to any restaurant and there was ketchup in that was cold? There's never been like that. You know why? Because there's vinegar in it. And that's the thing. When you have vinegar and stuff, it doesn't spoil. You learn that. You learn that. Same with butter. The same thing with because of the fatness of the butter and because of the texture and like how it congeals, it's fine. You can leave that as long as you put a cover over it. They literally have butter covers. Like, they have a little container. It's a longer Tupperware glass, and it has like a thing on it. Like, I love how I was like so intense with all this, and then just like totally like, oh, I felt like I was George Costanza's father when he was on, like, he's like, oh, lost my train of thought. I'm gonna sit back down. My bad. I'm gonna just, all right. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I it's just simple stuff. I just like simple foods. I'm a simple man. I like simple beer. The thing is, you would think that I'm like, I sound pretty like, I feel like I sound pretty white trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like, dude, this guy is insane. Listen to him. But this is where we're at. This is how we are. So, like I said, I hope you guys are doing good. My week has been kind of crazy. So at the beginning of the week, I got my car back on Monday, and it's so great because I think I told you guys last week, my car got broken into, it got broken into like 2 weeks ago actually, and then they did like $2,000 worth of damage on my car. Broke out 2 windows, broke out like one of the small little specialty windows, broke out the driver's side window. They took the muffler, which you can't get anything for, and then they took a pair of Ray-Bans, which like these, like, I'm kind of upset because I guess they took 2 pairs of these old school like sunglasses that were pretty, like, they were both Ray-Bans, which I'm a little disappointed in, but they're on the side thing and I never wore them, so does it really matter that I lost them? So kind of does, because they were kind of antiques, and if I was smart enough, I would have put them over there with all my other antique stuff that I have that's crazy, but it's more antique, like film and audio equipment versus antique sunglasses, because I don't even really wear sunglasses. Hell, I just found a pair of sunglasses in my own car that I'm like, oh, I'm surprised these people didn't steal these. And I'm like, I wore them. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I had them. Like, holy hell, who knew? And, shit, because I don't wear sunglasses. It's one of those things I just don't do. I don't know. I just don't do it. I dated an eye doctor. I dated her for a long time, and You think I would have worn sunglasses when I dated her? Nope, didn't wear sunglasses at all. She'd actually would always be like, why don't you ever wear sunglasses? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you squint a lot because it's sunny out. I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. She's like, why don't you get a pair of sunglasses? I'm like, nah, I'm good. So this is where we are in my life. This is what's going on. So anyway, so like I said, like I got my car had like $2,000 worth of damage. So what's so great too about it is that I'm pretty sure I've come down to the conclusion that the people who fucked with my car were either crackheads, meth heads, something like in that sense of things. Because what I think what they tried to do is they tried to break into my car. They ripped off the ignition and they were trying to hotwire it. And once they realized they couldn't hotwire my car, I think they just got super fucking pissed and they just like destroyed and ransacked the car. And then they tried to steal the muffler. I think they came back and they tried to steal the muffler. They fucked up the alignment of my car. So like my steering wheel, instead of going like this, it goes like that a little bit. So that's great. So I have to get my car realigned, which is another great thing we have to spend money on. And what else? So I was like, so there was like small little things. So like the overhead lights, they didn't work. And then like the horn didn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are these things? And like, I'm like, oh yeah, let me check the little fuses. There was a bunch of little fuses just like missing through the whole thing. I'm like, good God. Like that's why. Like, I'm like, what were you guys doing? And it was absurd. And then I had to get a new battery because the battery that I had in anyway, that was old. So like, I don't really feel that bad because it was actually kind of time for that battery to get changed. And this will probably be the last battery that I'll need in this car anyway, because this car is on its kind of its last leg in that sense. But when, so like the alignment got messed up a little bit. I had to get a new battery. I had to buy like one of those like big old brick things that like will jumpstart your car. So I had to buy one of those because I was like thinking, I'm like, because I'm like in my mind, what I was thinking when I tried to start my car, the lights, like the headlights would come on, but none of the stuff on the inside would come on. And so I'm like thinking, okay, well if that's happening, then most likely there's enough juice in the thing. And so like it had like half battery, and the battery was like 3 years old, so it was time for it to get changed anyway. So I changed that and started right up. The car works good so far. It's just that alignment, dude. And so like when I brake now, you can feel it in the back, because you can feel like it's either the tire is off a line or it's the alignment. It's something that has to do with the back part of it, because when I'm slowing down, it will shake. It will like do like that about 3-4 times. And then when I go to a complete stop, it stops. So I know it's not the engine, because if it was the engine when I'm stopped and it's still shaking, then that's most likely the engine. So I'm like thinking, I'm like, and it's so funny with me. Like, I'm like, I know how to describe things to about that much. I can't. And I'm like, okay, I can probably shoot it. I'm like, okay, I know what I would need, this tool and that tool. I don't know any of the names of the tools, but I could figure this out. Like, I'm like, it's quite fun. It's like, John, you should just get a new car. Actually, tell you the truth, I probably should have got a new car like maybe like 3 years ago. But I was like, this car was running still good, and I had it was like 165 miles. And so I was like, why? Like, I'm like, why would I need to get a new car right now? But it's like, yeah, I should have just gotten a car back then. Which is now what you learn, which I learned to do about 160 to 170,000 is when you should probably, ride your car to, and then just buy a new one, or like trade that one in and do that kind of thing. And, you'd get pretty good value for a used vehicle that way. But it's so crazy though, is because like cars are so expensive, but then once you start using them, the appreciation value to them goes down so much. It's most insane. It's the most like lopsided thing that occurs with buying an object. It's weird. It's so weird. But like, because the thing is, like, I have a camera, and even though it's old, like the one I'm using right now, it's not old, but it's like a couple years older. Like, I can still get a good amount of money off it, but the car is just like, it just doesn't. There is not that much, because like I'm like looking at like 2010s 2011s. I'm like 4, 5, 6,000. I'm like, okay, like I can easily like pay. I'm gonna pay straight cash. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, if a car is like they're asking for like 4,200, right? I'd be like, okay, if I can give you like 3,800 right now, like just straight cash, like what would you like? You'd be cool. Like we'd be both straight. Like I would take that. Wouldn't you think that'd be a pretty good deal? Like you don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. I'll give you straight cash right now. So, but yeah, I've been looking at like Honda Fits. That's probably one. I don't know why I want a little Honda hatchback, because I've had a Honda Accord, Honda Element, Honda CRV, and I want to try out one of the Honda like hatchbacks. That's really what I would think, which I think would be a pretty cool little car to have. And I think the maintenance wise, like changing the oil every 300 miles, 3,000 miles. Yeah, every 3,000 miles, is that what? No, not 3,000 miles, 30 miles, every 30,000 miles. What is it? I think it's every 30,000 miles that you need to change it. I think that's what it is, every 30,000 miles, which is like roughly like every about 3 months, 3-4 months. But yeah, and so I think like then the gas mileage is like 25 to like 32. So it's not bad. And especially like I'm not going to be driving it that much. So I think it just still be kind of a cool car to have, just a small little hatchback, nothing crazy. And what I would like to do is I'd like to get the little hatchback and then save up and have like a weekend car. Like my dream thing would be to have that, then like buy like a old used like Mercedes. Not even Mercedes. I shouldn't say Mercedes or not even any German car really. I would want to get like a nice weird foreign car that I just drive on the weekends. That I literally will only drive like on maybe Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon to get groceries before a football game. Something like that. That's my dream. And I'm like, and it's really not that hard. It's just it's a matter of just saving. So it's all a matter of like willpower and mindset with saving money. That's all that is. Saving money is all that. Just like it's like a weird mindset you have to put yourself into. It's like, it's going to suck for like the short amount of time. You put it in a beginning date and an end date, and you just like, all right, that's what you got to do. So that's the thing. Like, yeah, I don't want no goddamn German car. No offense to anybody. German cars, it just not my thing. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. But yeah, like the car stuff, dude. Like, especially, it's funny too. The older I get, the older I'm getting, the more I'm getting more interested in like how cars go. Be more than just. I'm getting interested in the cars more than just like how they go beep beep. Like I want to know more. And it's cool to be able to problem shoot. And I talk to other people. And like, it's so funny because I talked to a coworker who's country boy. He is a country boy. But I talk to him about these things, and he's like, oh yeah, try this, try that, try this. And he's just like, you can see he's so animated, and he loves the fuck out of it. And I love that shit. And I can feed off that because I want that kind of energy, because that's what I feel about all this stuff. Because even like this podcast, like I do this week in, week out. I'm at 93 episodes. And what's crazy to me is like people who will like start a video and like start a series and like they'll make like an introduction video, and then they'll make a video, like one video, and then like they stop, and you don't hear anything. It's like, dude, like you gotta just make shit. You gotta make bullshit. And that's where you wrinkle all this stuff. And then when you make really, really good stuff, it'll show itself. It's no big deal. But it's like, come on, man, just make something. Just make stuff. Like, cause like, I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot more people are a lot more talented I am. I'm like super driven. I'm honest. At least I'm honest. Like I'm always gonna be someone who would like surround themselves with smart people, with smarter people than me, because I don't think I'm that intelligent of a person. Not that I think I'm an ignorant person. Just the fact that I know my limitations. I know where I'm strong at. I know if I can get other people who are also really strong-minded, that are equal to me, but are smarter at other things, then we can all make something really beautiful. And that's the great thing about filmmaking, which is may or may not be dying, which I don't know. It's an interesting time. It's still a weird time to be a filmmaker in that sense, because like theaters like not really a thing, which I've never understood why they just don't stream stuff. And I know they want to get that bottom dollar because you gotta understand, like if someone streams something versus going to a theater, it's like a kids movie. When a kids movie, they automatically incorporate 2 tickets for every person. So every 1 ticket is going to be 2 people. So in that sense, and let me like I probably didn't explain that correct in the best way. So for every like person who sits down and watches this movie, there's gonna be 2 people because it's usually kids and a parent. So you're gonna at least get 2 people. So like if a ticket costs $10, you can get $20 easily for a kids movie. So you times everything by 2. Makes it really easy. But the things like when you just stream stuff, it's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna make that much money. And the things like they're not. We're in that weird limbo right now where the industry's not. They're not able to figure out a way to make money off of just streaming versus like someone like myself. Like I could get, 1 million subscribers and then I could get millions of like views every episode I do. All that money is mine. Or in a sense, I have to pay taxes. There's still people that are going to get their cut. But anyway, there's a sense of like making revenue off of it. And then I could be like, oh, you can also check out my like my clothing line, or hey, check out my pictures, you can buy my photography, you can buy my short films, you can do all this stuff, buy my music, all blah, blah, blah. I don't make music, I'm just saying for an example. But the industry for filmmaking hasn't been able to find a way to make money in those small little crevices. All they know is like people go to the movie theater. A movie theater has like 60 seats, 45 people buy a ticket. This episode, like this time, this other one sells out. The rest of the week is like 55 out of 60 seats are, being sold. Boom, done, over. And you add that up, and that's your thing. That's your money. So it's weird. So what's interesting is how it's going to be when I'm like in my 40s, and how filmmaking is going to be. Like filmmaking, art is going to be kind of the same for the most part. Technology is going to get better, yeah. But how is it going to be with like the ability to stream and to be able to make money off of stuff? Like how is there going to be like Quentin Tarantino's? Is there going to be like Spielberg's? Like as I kind of feel like things are going to go to like television style, a lot more back. It's going to go back to not the archaic, but the old school style of how things used to be, where things were on TV, and there's going to be TV and it's going to be streaming. And so they're going to figure out a way where like NBC or these things are going to figure out a way to stream these stuff, and they're going to do a weekly stream. It's going to be something like that probably. And that's how they're going to make their money. Or they're going to go to that Netflix style where they just throw it all down at one time and just see the numbers. But I don't even see how like a Netflix play. I don't understand how they make money back. I don't understand that. I mean, I guess maybe because they make a show, the show streams, and it gets a let's say 6 million views like every episode, right? They do 10 episodes, right? 6 million views every episode, blah 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 blah. And then they can sell like advertisement onto like thing like Netflix. Like, well, we have the show that's like streaming and like super big right now, so why would you not want to advertise on Netflix? I guess they can make money like that, but like it's I feel like you just hemorrhage money when you do things like what Netflix is doing. But they have a lot of money, they have a lot of investors, but it's still fucking hilarious. And I guess they get money on the subscriber aspect of things too. John, I think that's actually where they make most of their money. Well, guys, you talk on a podcast for 30 minutes and then you don't say a lot of dumb stuff. It's so funny. Like I've just been like, what are we gonna talk about this week? It's so funny. Like I had this one thing I really wanted to talk about. I guess this will be my closing thing because we have like 5.5 minutes left. I'm pretty sure I can. Let's see if I can stretch this out to the last thing. So, what's been blowing me away lately is like people have been like shocked with like the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. The white kid who got found not guilty. Is like some people are like, yeah, like he was found. He was self-defense, which is fair. That's what I kind of think too. I think it was never a racial thing. Like he killed a pedophile, like a rapist, and like someone who had like a lot of like their criminal record swiped like 3 days before the whole trial started. So I don't know what to fucking tell you. But what I'm telling you, like, people are shocked by that, and then like people are just shocked by like when I tell people about like someone breaking into my car, people are like, "Oh my god, are you so shocked that can happen?" I'm like, "No, like it happens. There's methods. There's people. Like we're in a weird time right now. Where I parked my car was in a probably place, which I thought it was a nice safe area because I've parked there millions of times. Ended up not being that one time. I got my car fucked, but." People are like, how are you not like shocked by all this stuff? And it's just because you gotta understand, there are guys who fuck pussies that are in the shape of flashlights. So like, there shouldn't be many things that should shock you in this point in your life. There shouldn't be like when I know that like I have friends who use a flashlight to jerk off with. I'm just like, yeah, there's a lot of weird things, there's, can you believe that they're killing all those Muslims in China? Well, yeah, I can kind of believe that. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not trying to make light of all this stuff, but it's just like, it's fucking insane. Like, there's only been one time when I've ever been shocked by anything. And it was when I was dating this girl, and we were having some beers and we were having a good time and we were watching football, and she's like, yeah, like I was dating this guy once, this Russian guy, and like I'm really into tennis, and he put the back end of a tennis racket up my pussy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, huh? And she's like, yeah, he just did it. He fucked me with it. And I'm like, huh, interesting. And I'm like, what? I was like, still to this day, that I was 24 when that girl told me that. And I'm 32 now, and I still think about that like at least once a week. And I'm like, how, where, what was the conversation that led up to it? And the thing is, like, I don't know why I was right there. I don't know why I didn't ask any of these questions. I could have asked all these questions, and I could have been able to tell. I have no fucking clue. I don't know why. I'm like, I don't know why she chose that moment to tell me, but I was we were stoned and we were drunk, and she was just like, yeah, racket on my pussy. He fucked me with it. I'm like, good, googly, moogly. That can happen sometimes. And I'm like, whoa, huh, interesting. And that right there, that's something you should be shocked about. But finding out like there's some like, fucking fuck island that they fuck little girls on. Like, you shouldn't be shocked by that. You shouldn't. Like that, yeah, there's billionaires that are going to do weird shit like that. What do you expect? They have nothing else. Like, when you have $1 billion, you can do whatever the fuck you want, really. You get away with it. We live in a weird time. Weird time. And we have like 1:40 left. I need to blow my nose. And so I think we're going to slowly go into a descent here into this podcast. If you've gotten this far, which I doubt you did. But if you did, thank you so much for watching. You should like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to play some Madden now. Dude, if you guys play Madden, fuck all the other shit. What you should do is you should do owner and then just build a team. Build a team. Get free agents. What I do is I get free agents and I just like train them. And we get them, and I build them up, and I build my team that way. I'm like, fuck all this shit. And I just let go of all my good teams. I cut my salary cap to like barely nothing. And then draft too, and then and it's so cool is you pick up these free agents and you just change their name and you change their number and you change you pick the position you want them to play, and you pick up a free agent that way, and you can have like a whole team that you want. And it's, I don't know, I think it's much fun. I think it's funner that way. Funner anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go now. I'm gonna go do that. Go edit this podcast as well. All right. Be safe. Wash your hands. Blow your nose too. I'll see you guys on the next episode.